Judge in former President Trump's New York civil fraud case has just ruled on a new challenge from New York Attorney General Letitia James. She wanted to have Trump's $175 million bond rejected, but the court says his bond will stand.
New York Attorney General Letitia James is asking a judge to void a $175 million bond posted by the former president. She argues that Trump and other defendants couldn't prove that they could back the bond if their appeal fails. She also says the company that Trump used to obtain the bond, Knight Specialty Insurance Company, is not authorized to write bonds in New York. Trump's attorneys reject that.
Meanwhile, radical New York Attorney General Letitia James suffered another blow in her civil fraud case after the judge denied her request to invalidate Trump's $175 million bond that he posted while he is waiting for appeal. And the Trump people said, that would be in cash, sir. He said, but what if it's not worth the same amount of money? That would be in cash, sir. $175 million is $175 million. Please tell me that didn't happen. Did that happen in that courtroom? You're laughing, so I guess the answer is yes.
Oh, you have no idea. We had the money in a Charles Schwab money market account, and the judge legitimately said with a straight face, with his little team, hey, I don't think this is secure money because something could happen to the market and it could go below $175 million. To tell you how hard it was for me to keep my face straight in that moment, Sean, you can't make it up. This case should have been in the commercial division. It had no business being in the civil division in front of a judge that today was trying to invalidate any bond and doesn't understand that cash is green. And when cash is held by Charles Schwab, they can't go trade it. They can't move it around. It's not the stock market, but he didn't understand basics. It was one of those aha moments that I truly didn't feel I could have after 11 weeks in front of this judge. But it just can't stop.
Knight Specialty Insurance Company, it always maintained that Trump posted cash as collateral to secure the bond. But the Attorney General raised questions about how that account was managed and who had access to it and whether Knight Specialty could pay the bond if needed.
Ms. James wanted to argue and say that our cash somehow isn't green enough. 1 hour, the Attorney General and that judge realized quickly that they had no idea what they were talking about. We came to an agreement that everything would be the same. We would modify terms, and that
New York Attorney General Letitia James, as you just mentioned, asking the judge in Trump's civil fraud case to void the $175 million bond payment that he already posted. She claims that she's questioning whether Knight Specialty Insurance Company has the funds to back it up. So, Chris, he puts the bond. First, they tried to get him to put up $475 million in bond. Then a judge cuts it to $175 million. He gets the money. He pays the bond, and now she's trying to get the judge to void it out. I mean, you can't buy this.
Trial going on right now. That's Letitia James. She campaigned on the fact that I will get Trump. I'm going to get Trump. And it has to do with a bond of $175 million. She doesn't want me to participate with financial companies in New York. So we have a company, I guess, based in California. I put up $175 million in cash, and she's questioning the bonding company.
Unbelievable. This weaponized, charges is just absolutely ridiculous. And the idea, I mean, it's really despicable. The concept of taking away Secret Service detail from a past president is just, I think people are seeing this for what it is, which is just kind of weaponizing our criminal justice system. Ultimately, I think it's going to backfire because I do believe ultimately Trump is going to be seen as strong and angry and righteous, which is not a normal position for him to be dealing from. So I think I think this will ultimately benefit him despite the incredible tribulations.
Well, they're making him the victim, Chris.
Absolutely. Absolutely they are.
Yeah, and we also want to hear what the Supreme Court has to say, Liz, because the SCOTUS is going to be set to hear arguments on Trump's presidential immunity case on Thursday to determine whether, in fact, he should be immune from prosecution by Special Counsel Jack Smith's election interference investigation. Trump posted this on Truth Social. If they take away my presidential immunity, they take away crooked Joe Biden's presidential immunity. How is that going to square, Liz?
Well, I assume that's a veiled threat that if Trump wins in November, guess what? Guess who's next going to be looking at federal charges? Look, I think this is a horrific idea that presidents should be, look, they have to obey the law, but the fact that a successor or a competitor can go after them legally for actions they took while president. Imagine what that could open up, Maria. I mean, this may not be a very good rationale or a very good case on which to hang that, but I do think the whole question of presidential immunity is somewhat tricky. And I think Trump's lawyers are going to have a pretty good case to make.